I am super excited to intro our keynote. I had an opportunity, Allison has met Jennifer in the past, and then I had an opportunity over the last month to meet her, and she's just really incredible. And we have this opportunity to hear from her on a topic that she speaks a lot about, which is really kind of finding your voice and sparking that energy that you need as you both communicate in this new world and find your path forward. So we asked her to come and share some really great words of wisdom and inspire us all in this holiday season. And then she happens to also be a well-known opera singer and piano player. And so we're going to get to preview that a little, which I think will be super, super cool. So I'm really honored that she would join us today and that we get to listen and learn from her. So Jennifer, with that, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Thank you. I have been counting down the days to this event, and thank you very much for that kind and wonderful introduction. This all came together due to networking and from developing a relationship that was sparked in our signature Level Up Bootcamp at the Forum. And it's been such a treat to get to know you, Allison. I could not be happier to be here for this special and festive evening. Thank you also, Lauren, for your expertise and for serving as my personal sound engineer. You all worked so hard to make this happen, and I won't let you down. So here we go. We live in an image-conscious society. Now, that's not necessarily bad news. It's just an observation. From social media, to our web presence, to our Zoom meetings, and soon enough, once again, to our face-to-face meetings. The way we carry ourselves and how we are perceived has never been more important. We put a lot of effort into our personal grooming, our wardrobe, hello, sparkles, and the written content that we put out into the world. And yet too often, when we open our mouths to tell the world about our products, services, or ambitions, our real-life presentation skills are not as on point. My name is Jennifer Litwin. I'm Vice President and Head of Financial Services Sales and Strategy at the Forum. And I am here to tell you that you can supercharge your interactions in any space, spark creativity, inspire scintillating conversation, and radiate confidence in any situation by knowing and honing the power of your voice. How do I know this? Well, the short answer is I'm a huge diva. Okay, huge is maybe the wrong term because I'm fully aware of my 5-foot stature. I have been told, however, that I have a tall aura. But seriously, I'm an actual diva, a classically trained operatic soprano who just happened to end up on one of the most notorious trading floors in the world at AIG Financial Products Corp. And from there, even while maintaining a concurrent career as an opera singer and a music teacher, I built a career in financial services at the highest level, working with some of the hardest hitters and the biggest egos in the corporate jungle. And I'll tell you what, there are some real similarities between the operatic stage and the trading floor. Have you ever read The Big Short by Michael Lewis? My life in my 20s was chapter 4. And if you've got some time, I've got some stories. Before the second in command at AIG FP, Joe Casano, tapped me on the shoulder and asked me to change the entire direction of my singing career because I was really only a temp secretary at the time, I had spent tens of thousands of hours in private lessons from a very young age, 6 years in conservatory, more time training in Italy, and an apprenticeship with the Sarasota Opera preparing my voice to navigate passages like this. Yeah, I did that in public, in sparkly dresses, and in every language that you can think of. And yes, I also have tiaras, and so should you, but that's a whole other workshop. So yeah, that's how it started. When presented with the opportunity, I figured that I could take on a full-time back office position confirming trades at AIGFP, just until Luciano Pavarotti called, and then I'd quit. Well, it turns out that Pavarotti misplaced my number, and my back office position led to me actually executing trades in a front office role at UBS Investment Bank just a few years later. That position led to my ultimate role in finance as head of relationship management at Greenwich Associates, a role this diva would never have imagined she would play when she was learning how to nail that perfect high note. So how did all of my operatic training in a field so wildly different from the one that I ended up in factor into my success? The answer is, I was no stranger to performance, and I know my voice. I know what it's like to have your voice determine your fate on a daily basis. In the opera business, every single note counts. And you can lose an audience of 5,000 people with one opening phrase. I also know that the vibration of your authentic intention travels with your voice into the ears and bodies of your audience. Because yes, sound waves affect the whole nervous system. And they determine how people emotionally feel about you and your message. A tight sound full of your own doubt or anxiety can make people very nervous about whether you can finish an aria or sing the big high note. And a relaxed and commanding technique invites people to sit back and enjoy the ride. All of these elements are also true for you, for your voice, and for any presentation or interaction in which you really want to shine. The way you vocally express yourself can either undermine your message or shine a spotlight right into the hearts and minds of whoever you are trying to reach. Now you might be thinking, do I need to spend 6 years in a conservatory to learn this stuff? Well, no, not unless you want to learn to sing for 4 hours in Italian in a corset. Guessing that's a no. I can, however, teach you in this short keynote 10 tips that I guarantee will change how you are perceived and received in any space. Are you ready? I warn you, I'm going to invite you to make some very silly sounds. Thank goodness for the mute button. But I promise that it will be worth it, and it might even be fun. All right, let's do this. Let's all just imagine that you have a very important presentation to make on Zoom. We have all had to get our message across in the Zoom or online meeting space this year. Now, I like to think of Zoom as my own personal stage. I can't tell you how many meetings I have been in when the camera angle, the blinding light behind the person, or their crazy background has been so distracting that I can hardly focus on the person or what they are saying. So here are 4 very simple Zoom rules to follow. Number 1, set your stage. Before your meeting, open up your Zoom camera and deliberately set up your background. Your background should be uncluttered, representative of you, and pleasing but not distracting to the eye. Number 2, find your light. The best possible lighting is about 6 to 8 feet away from a window with diffused natural light, not blazing sunlight. So find the great light in your home and make that area your go-to Zoom space. A ring light is great too, especially for evening meetings. And I'm so extra that I use my ring light even when the sun is shining. Number 3, own your angle. The eye of the camera should be set at or just above your eye level. This angle keeps you looking up, awake, and engaged. When you speak on Zoom, also please concentrate on that little green light, or in my case, my camera has little blue lights, and not directly on your screen. I like to take a picture of someone I love or put a flower next to my camera. It reminds me to focus and to communicate. And you know, it also helps to alleviate stage fright. And sure, I still get stage fright. I just know how to handle it way better than you do. Give yourself some extra visual inspiration, and the connection to your Zoom partners will be that much more intense and amplified. Number 4, sit like a royal. This posture tip is a perfect segue into my vocal tips because it affects your voice and your on-screen image. Sit up straight. Sit like a queen or a king on a throne. I put a little pillow behind my seat. And that reminds me to sit up and sit on the edge of my seat, just as I do at the piano with my feet firmly planted on the box underneath my desk, because just having a tall aura doesn't help my feet reach the floor. But your whole demeanor and your vocal timbre, it changes when you sit with good posture. You can breathe deeply when your rib cage isn't collapsed and your voice is free to vibrate in the area around your chest, around your heart. So remember, sit like a royal and speak from the heart. Now, let's talk about creating your own vocal spotlight. These 5 vocal tips will apply to the Zoom space and to every space in which you want to be influential. First, let's all explore the full range of our voices. Pretend like you are having a great big yawn and vocalize through it on the word no. And I don't mean the no that they use when the hero dies in movies. I mean a nice yawn, like a happy lion in a sunbeam. Like this. No! Ready? 1, 2, 3. No! That feels good, right? This makes for a great warm-up for presentations. But be aware of your surroundings because you don't want to scare anyone at home. But that big yawning, no, that is the whole range that your voice has to offer. I guarantee that you are only using a fraction of that range when you speak now. So my first vocal tip is change your range. One of the most engaging things we can do as speakers is to vary our timbre or the range that we talk in. Do you remember Bueller? 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 Yeah, don't be that guy. Changing and varying the range of your message, it signals to the brain of the audience that new information is being conveyed. And so the brain stays engaged and interested in the subject matter. Speaking in monotone will put anyone to sleep, and there is a whole industry now of sleep stories read in monotone that proves my point. Practice giving your sentences a beginning, a middle, and an end. Your audience will applaud when you show them a clear dismount. Number 2, chill out. When we're nervous, we tend to speed up when we talk. Our speed of delivery, that's a huge indicator of our confidence. Our perception of time changes when we are under performance stress. Remind yourself when you are practicing your presentation. You heard me say practicing your presentation, right? So remember when you are practicing your presentation to pause in places, especially after delivering an important point. Great music is a combination of sound and silence, and so is great theater and great conversation. And a good way to remind yourself to modulate your speed is to take deep, full breaths into your lower back or abdomen between your sentences. If you chill out, your audience will too. Number 3, no upspeak. Have you ever heard someone speak who finishes every sentence like a question? Even their name is delivered like a question? Upspeak will undermine your message even if you are delivering the cure for cancer. Can you imagine if your surgeon met you in pre-op and said, "My name is Dr. Upspeaker, we're going to take out your gallbladder? I suggest recording or taking a video of yourself reading your presentation. Consciously remove upspeak from sentences that do not end with a question mark. It's the ultimate vocal makeover. My new friends, please give yourselves this gift. Unapologetically deliver your ideas and stick those landings. Be vocally undeniable. Number 4. No, you may not have fries with that. Another very jarring habit, especially when we are trying to appear extra serious or professional, is allowing our voice to fry in the back of our throat. So everyone say along with me, ah, 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 like your mom would say when you tried to grab that last cookie. Ah, ah, ah. Good. Now, in the same place in your throat, make the sound that you used to make when you were super bored as a melodramatic teenager. Mom. It's even better if you do an epic eye roll with it at the same time. Mom. Everyone together, and 1, 2, 3. Mom. Yeah, that's vocal fry. Have you ever heard someone speak almost entirely like that? You don't do that either. Open the throat and speak into that heart place that we talked about when we were sitting like a royal. Find that lovely round middle place in your voice that doesn't hurt your vocal cords or your audience's ears. Make that your default setting. Setting aside those who have experienced severe vocal trauma or injury, vocal fry telegraphs a lack of confidence, retraction, and defensiveness. And frankly, it's painful to listen to. Let your voice come out to meet your audience and embrace them with yummy, round, and colorful sound. Number 5, say it with volume. Now that we have your range varied, your upspeak leveled out, and your vocal fry vanquished, the last piece in this puzzle is volume. You know how the soundtrack to a movie, it gets louder or softer depending on the story? Have you noticed how that soundtrack can build and create suspense, rising up to a big, amazing moment? You have that power too. Go through your presentation and practice where volume can help you make your point. Now, don't scream at people. And jump scares! Those are also probably a really bad idea, but definitely utilize volume intensity to highlight an important conclusion. Don't be afraid to say it with volume. Extra credit if you're extra. Here's one last tip for fun. My fellow nerds out there who enjoy extra credit. You may have noticed today that you have not only heard, but have understood my every word. That is no accident. I have been very deliberate with my enunciation. I consciously engage all of my facial muscles when I speak, except for the ones that got Botox, but I pay careful attention to my consonants. Plus, I rehearse out loud a multitude of times, and so should you, especially if you traffic in specific industry jargon that others might not instantly understand. Always cater to your audience and ensure that even the guy with a crappy laptop sound card can hear your important inflections and will better internalize your full impact. As we say in opera, make sure the last seat in the balcony section is the best seat in the house. So now, do you all feel more like awesome divas? Do you feel like these simple tips can help you hold your spotlight and crush your next presentation? Bravi tutti! So here are your takeaways one more time. Number 1, set your stage. Number 2, find your light. Number 3, own your angle. Number 4, sit like a royal. Number 5, speak from the heart. Number 6, change your range. Number 7, chill out. Number 8, no upspeak. Number 9, no fries with that. And number 10, say it with volume. And extra credit, enunciate. At the Forum, we are all about teaching, mentoring, and practicing these kinds of supercharging career skills. Our founder and CEO, Ali Young, she is a tech powerhouse with over 20 years of experience, including 11 spent at Google. And she has built an incredibly effective, elegant, and scalable platform and has pulled together an amazing team that empowers women and underrepresented groups to rise into leadership. In our Level Up boot camps, we unpack the critical skills that demystify career advancement, and we teach this specific playbook. We cover how to build an authentic network, how to hone your personal brand, how to tie self-advocacy to business impact, and how to align with stakeholders via workshops, group coachings, and individual mentoring, all supported by the magic word in this audience, technology. Our learning platform, it houses career tools that enhance our training and your execution of these skills. And it drives the development of good habits with our science-based nudge engine. Come join our vibrant community where you can practice these skills in a fun and safe space while connecting with amazingly talented people from a wide variety of backgrounds and industries with a heavy focus on tech and financial services. And as our holiday gift to you, we are sharing a link to a type form that will be sent to this event's participants. And once you fill in the form with your email, you'll receive a link to sign up for $100 off our Level Up January Bootcamp. Happy holidays! Happy holidays! And if you are feeling very inspired to support a female founder and to join in our important mission to democratize career advancement at scale, and you wish to demonstrate your impact at your firm, please connect me to someone there who runs learning and development, diversity and inclusion, or who leads an employee resource group. You can find me on LinkedIn, and you can also email me at jennifer@theforum.co, jennifer@theforem.co. And I would love to hear from all of you. I love my job because it allows me, through exciting events like today, to share everything that I have learned from the Opera House to the upper echelons of financial services. I can be my authentically nerdy and jazz hand self, bringing all of my skills into play, all so that I can better advocate for your career success. And that is incredibly rewarding. So I hope that I've inspired you, because today it is more important than ever to know your voice and to use it. You should all understand the power of your voice a little better now, even if we just barely scratched the surface here. Above all, I hope that you will utilize these vocal pro tips to help spark your next great career adventure. Thank you.